today I am absolutely delighted to have Trevor and Trish on air with me. They are, they call themselves brand ambassadors, but they've got loads of experience of recommending lots and lots of different plant medicines, and I'm so excited to have them on the show today to share with us their understanding, their knowledge, and some of their advice too. Hello guys, thank you for coming on.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Thanks
good
for having
afternoon.
us.
Yeah, so I was saying you do class yourselves as brand ambassadors for a company called Canaway. Who are Canaway, and what do they do?
Right, okay, yeah, we're classed as brand ambassadors rather than representatives or experts. Canaway is basically a hemp lifestyle company. Canaway was brought about as a direct selling company for a major brand called Medical Marijuana Inc., massive company in America, a big company of firsts. They were the first company to develop a direct selling line throughout the world. They were the first to be listed on the stock exchange in America as a CBD company, which is what initially it started off. They started 10 years ago. 4 years ago, they decided to get their brand out to the general public. And decided the best way to do that would be through direct selling rather than through retail or in America drugstores, which they have, like general stores. And that's why the brand Canaway came about.
Amazing, because currently there's been a lot, hasn't there, in the news about the benefits of using cannabis, marijuana for different health reasons. Lots I've seen loads of things on social media where it's been given to people who are who have Parkinson's, or who have autoimmune problems, or people who have pain, and I've seen really quite phenomenal videos and images of people who've taken cannabis products when they've been having seizures, and just watching them take the herbal medicine, the plant medicine, take the plant medicine, and see that seizure just dissipate and disappear. And these people have got really quite often life-threatening illnesses and diseases, and cannabis has been really helpful. So it's great that your company are stepping up and providing such great information and research for people. Trevor, what's the difference between hemp and marijuana?
Well, the first thing is they're not classed as medicines. Cannabis is classed as basically it's a family of plants. If you liken it to citrus has many plants in it, orange, lime, lemon. Cannabis is the same. It's got different branches of the family, so to speak. You've got marijuana, which is well known on the street for smoking. It gives you the highs and the psychotic effects. It has very little benefit other than that. One of the things that we know about marijuana, or two of the things we know about marijuana, is while you're using it, it actually reduces your IQ by about 10% while you're using it.
Right.
The other thing is the stuff that's on the streets now called skunk is responsible for about 30% of the diagnosed psychosis in the UK. This came about from a report by one of the senior mental physicians in the UK. On the other hand, hemp has about 50,000 industrial uses, including construction, making of fabrics, plastics. Hemp plastics are being used quite regularly now, primarily in the car industry. We've also got this chemical called CBD, cannabidiol, which has been shown to have beneficial effects on people and animals as well.
Yeah.
It also has this chemical called THC, tetrahydrocannabidiol, which is the psychotic side. It's the part that gets you high. Marijuana has the same chemicals in, same compounds in, but in different ratios. So marijuana has a high level of THC and a low level of CBD, whereas hemp, on the other hand, has the other way around. It's a high level of CBD and low level of THC.
So we're not promoting smoking marijuana today.
We're not promoting THC generally.
But we are looking at hemp as a very useful product. I mean, I know that racing cars used to run on hemp oil years ago, and I know that tractors used to run on hemp oil up until quite recently. And if we can use hemp to make plastics, it's got a real kind of environmentally friendly potential, hasn't it? It's got a positive eco impact potential that we could be missing out on that without the research. And as well as how many benefits did you say it had? There was lots.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Kannaway is now called a hemp lifestyle company rather than a CBD company, because we use it for various uses, as you said. Years ago, it was used for fuel. It's still used nowadays in vehicle production. A lot of the dashers in modern cars are actually using hemp-based plastics.
Wow!
In the 1930s, Henry Ford built a car with completely plant-based plastics, which included hemp. And he ran the car on hemp fuel.
Yeah.
This was back in the 30s.
Not that long ago.
Well, 90 years ago now. So things like hemp fuel are starting to come back. But if I can regress a little bit, hemp was a very important plant up until the late 1800s, early 1900s. And because we had industrialization growing, including the petrochemical industry, the car industry, the paper industry, hemp became vilified. Up until then, it was pretty much compulsory to grow hemp in some countries and some areas, because it was such an important plant.
I know that during King Henry VIII's time, in Tudor times, it was illegal not to grow it because it was so beneficial.
You could be fined for not growing it. If you had a certain acreage, you had to put a percentage of your acreage to growing hemp. That was partly because the same time we're knocking all those trees down to build ships, they were using hemp to make sails, make ropes, even make uniforms. So hemp fibre has been going along for a long time. In fact, they found a piece of hemp fabric 9,000 years old in Antalya region of Turkey. Wow. So we know it's been used as a fabric for all that time. And now it's coming back more and more. A member of our team, she makes her own hemp fabric products. So she makes her own dresses, she makes her own bedding, because it has a natural air freshener characteristic about it. She makes her own products. It's now coming more and more into the fore. But because it had these benefits, people in the industry were starting to vilify it, and the American government were lobbied to put tax on hemp, and it became unviable to grow at that time. And then it became matched up with marijuana, the other part of the family. Marijuana was vilified for its getting high, its non-medicinal reasons. We in the 60s and 70s, you saw all these stories about calling it Joe and weed and things like that, because people got high on it. In 1970s, we were getting medicines from hemp. Up until then, it was being prescribed by doctors, and then it stopped automatically when brought in the Misuse of Drugs Act. and they combined hemp and marijuana under the same heading of cannabis. That's where the problem came. And now, as you say, it's coming more and more to the front.
Yes.
Just about every day you will hear it
It's been a great turnaround.
on media or read it in the papers on how it's getting coming more and more to the front as a good product. That's hemp, not marijuana.
Yes. So hemp oil, I guess that's the form I'm going to see it in most often. It's the form I've heard about it most often. If I use hemp oil or take hemp oil, is there a risk that I could test positive for THC, that hallucinogenic, the bad stuff, the bad bits in a drugs test?
Well, a lot of hemp oil doesn't have either any cannabinoids or THC in it. They are just hemp oil. Things like you can buy them in pet stores, quite big bottles for a couple of quid. And people use that for frying or cooking and things like that. They give it to the pets for improving the coats and things like that. But it doesn't have any CBD or THC. You need to go and buy specific products with CBD in them. Now, some products will have THC as well as the CBD. There is a legal limit in the UK of 0.2% for THC. None of our products have got THC in, I'd like to add.
Okay.
So if you have a product that has got no THC in, you've got no chance of getting high on it.
Yeah.
The World Anti-Doping Agency have actually stated that CBD won't metabolize into any of the banned substances. And in fact, PGA, the Professional Golfing Association, have said that people can use CBD products, but they have got to be aware there's no THC, because THC is a banned substance in sport.
Yes.
And I've just read recently that I think it's the American Baseball Association have just deregulated marijuana. So I think moving forward, probably heard in America, in Canada, they've allowed marijuana for use recreationally, but they are through regulated outlets. You can actually use CBD while you're driving, provided you know it's got no THC in. It's not a banned substance. It doesn't get you high. It doesn't give you any sensation of being high or intoxicated. It's quite a natural product. So yeah, it's all good. It's not banned anywhere in the UK now. You can quite freely buy it, as you found. You see, you can buy CBD products in a lot of stores, a lot of outlets.
See them in every health food shop now, don't you? See,
just about, yeah.
And hemp as well.
And in chemists, in the chemists.
What I would say, if you do decide to take any CBD products, the first thing you must do is research the product. Research to make sure it's got no THC. Research where it's grown. Research the outlet you go into. Make sure you're getting a product that is as best as you can get.
You want the good stuff, really, don't you?
Well, we always say you need to get the good stuff, not the really good stuff.
Yeah. So over this last month, we've been talking a lot about diet and exercise and self-care and being kind to ourselves. And I know that one of the things that's come up is that for years there's been a talk about how fats and oils are bad for you, and kind of sugar's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. But we've been really highlighting this month how bad sugar is for you and how important oils are as a part of a diet or as a part of a beauty regime even as well. How is hemp oil going to benefit me if I use it?
Again, if you get a good quality one, it's got what they call a broad. Sorry.
First of all, it's a supplement.
Yeah, it's a food supplement.
It's a food supplement.
It's not classed as any medication. It's classed as a food supplement.
Okay.
World Health Organization declared it to be a food supplement back in 2013, I believe it was. So there's that. If you get a good quality hemp oil with the cannabinoids, the CBD. It also has all the plant waxes, the flavins, the terpenes that are all good for you. It has omegas 3 and 6, and it has various vitamins and minerals in. So hemp as a product itself is good and healthy for you.
Mm-hmm. So adding it to your diet or having it as a supplement is going to help with your overall well-being and health in general. Yeah.
I mean, if you just get a general hemp oil that has no CBD or any of the other cannabinoids, use it for frying. Use it in your salads and things like that.
Dressing.
That's fine.
Great. It's great in a salad dressing.
Exactly, yeah. And it's quite a nice flavour. It's got quite a strong herby flavour, but it's quite nice.
It's quite pungent, isn't it? I think
it can be,
quite pleasant.
Yeah.
I like it with pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, and kind of it goes well with nutty flavours, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if you mix it with a little bit of vinegar, you get a really nice vinaigrette.
And it's what the body needs, Amanda. You know, your body needs that supplement because of the vitamins, and the body needs those to, for health and wellness.
Yeah, we do. We need oils, don't we? They're good for our system. Yeah.
It's strange how you're saying that we've now gone from fats and oils being bad for you to sugar being bad for you, and fats and oils are good. I remember
there's definitely some conspiracy theories about why that's happened.
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah,
we could probably go into and have a whole.
I would say we won't get into them yet.
On that, but yes, we are now aware that oils are important. They're essential for our well-being, for our health. Our body needs them, like you were saying, Trish.
Yeah.
And we know now that sugars are what we should be avoiding. Interesting. So CBD, hemp oil, sometimes you get hemp oil with CBD oil in it. What is CBD? This is the one that I've heard most about, but what is CBD?
Okay. As I mentioned, that there's various compounds in both marijuana and in hemp in different ratios. So CBD and THC are both cannabinoids, which are shown to be beneficial in various ways. Now, the CBD and THC are both just cannabinoids, different cannabinoids. CBD is the one that's most prolific in hemp. It traditionally or normally is around about 50% plus in hemp. It's cannabinoid.
It's the one to get your tongue round, isn't it?
Cannabidiol, sorry. Cannabidiol, which is another cannabinoid.
Okay.
So that's the most prolific one, and the one that's been shown to be more beneficial. We have a thing in our body called the endocannabinoid system, which is as prolific almost as the nervous system, and it is tied into the nervous system. Now, this was discovered back in the early 90s in Israel, and there's been more and more research on it. But essentially, the ECS, the endocannabinoid system, is internal in our body. We also produce cannabinoids naturally, endocannabinoids. And pregnant and nursing mums produce more CBD naturally, and it's now thought that goes towards the help to help develop the baby. It also is tied into the system, the nervous system, and we have receptors called CB1 and CB2 receptors in the ECS. CB1 receptors are in the central nervous system, and CB2 are in the peripheral nervous system, and they feed on CBD. It's quite notable that we don't have a endoparacetamol system.
No,
we have an endocannabinoid system. As we were briefly talking beforehand, we should probably be looking more at beneficial plants before we start looking more and more into chemically based medicines.
Yeah.
Ironically, one of the most prolific medicines we've got we're starting to get immune to it. But it started off with penicillin, which was basically a plant, and that's how antibiotics started, through a plant-based product again.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to regress a little bit to go back to the plant-based products, and we know a lot of them have got benefits.
But it's the CBD that's giving the receptors the balance that the body needs, isn't it?
Yeah. So do you want to cover that? So and basically, the endocannabinoid system is the largest self-regulatory system in the body, and its whole aim is to keep the body in balance. So when it's out of balance, you get these conditions, and the aim of or the role of CBD is to try and bring the ECS back into balance.
Mm-hmm. So when we talk about conditions that people get when they're out of balance, we're talking about inflammatory disorders. We're talking pain disorders. What are we talking about when we're talking about?
Right. Okay. So we're not medically trained, so we can't use medical terminology.
Okay.
One of the good things about Canaway is the American government put out a patent. The patent was developed by a Nobel laureate called Dr.
Oh, I can't remember his name now.
Can't remember his name.
He'll come to you.
But that patent says CBD is beneficial in the use of certain neurodegenerative diseases. It's an antioxidant. And it's also beneficial for the autoimmune system.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Axelrod, I know you remember his name.
Yeah.
He was the guy who developed the patent. The good thing about it is Canaway is licensed on that patent. So our company can say that the benefit of CBD is that it does this, this, and this. It's also, the patent also says it can be used in research of degenerative diseases, neurodegenerative diseases. One of our sister companies called Canascience is using that patent and is researching into various conditions. One of the major ones in America is CTE, which is the injuries they get from playing American football and things like that. So there's research by our company going into that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in a nutshell, the ECS is the biggest organism that keeps your body in balance and in check.
Yeah. I mean, what I find really exciting about, and before this interview, we were just chatting about it, weren't we, that we've got this amazing NHS system that provides us with, so many things. I mean, if I've lost a limb or if I need surgery, don't send me to an aromatherapist. I'm not going to take CBD oil for that. But it does miraculous things. But what we're finding more often now is that there are certain things. People are struggling a lot with stress-related disorders. People are struggling a lot with inflammatory disorders, with these autoimmune disorders that Western medicine does not seem to have a great understanding of, and the research that's been done into neuroreceptors and into the cannabinoid system that you were talking about is really helping us have a deeper understanding of how our body has this kind of internal physician and can heal itself, and those cannabinoids really help support that natural healing process within us. I just find it really exciting that there are so many things that Western medicine can't give us, but these more alternative or natural food supplements help promote our own healing within ourselves.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is right. One of the good things about the last probably 10 years is the conversation has been opened up more and more now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hearing more and more about NHS physicians, NHS neuro consultants are turning more and more to CBD in general. There's been quite a few programs on about CBD being used for this condition or that condition. There's been a lot of discussion and reports on local media, national media, again, discussing the use of CBD for a lot of conditions. And I mean, we're going on to innovation, the innovations that are coming about shortly. But one of the good things that's come about over the last 2 years is the first one was the licensing of CBD by the Home Office. Sajid Javid signed a license for it to be permitted for prescription to very limited types of conditions. One of the downsides of that is the people who brought the change about, a couple of young children, wouldn't have been able to get the medication on the NHS because they wouldn't fulfil the criteria that's been laid down.
Gosh,
the other good thing is just recently is NICE have now said from this year more people will be getting that medication for those conditions. They've opened it up a lot more. Those restrictions have closed down. They've opened up a bit. So there's going to be some around 2,000 people who are going to be able to get it instead of the handful that were getting it. And that's fantastic. You know, we as brand ambassadors, we are promoting the use of these products. And it doesn't matter where you get the products from. What we ask is you get the best product you can find and use it. Don't go and get it off not decrying the guy on the high street, the guy on the street. No. He genuinely doesn't know what he's putting into his product.
People need to know. They need to know that they are investing in a good product, and it's the correct CBD oil as well. I mean, I've spoken to a couple of the chemists on the high street, and we've discussed the percentages of their CBDs that they're selling to their customers. And their customers are saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, but it's not working." So people need to know about the percentages of CBD as well, and what will probably, low percentages, people have said, "Oh, it works for me," then that's fine, that's okay. But you need a higher percentage of CBD oils, you know, that
if you're going to be using it for something more medical, especially, I would imagine you want good quality products.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just recently, it's been well advertised that Tiger Woods was using CBD while he was winning the Masters in America this year.
Wow.
And we know there's some 20 plus professional golfers in America on the American circuit, and they're using CBD products, and they're saying they're using it because it helps with their concentration, and it helps with their recovery afterwards as well. And we know a lot of guys in the UK, sorry, that's a bit sexist, isn't it? A lot of people in the UK who use post-gym training
and women
to help with recovery after, you know, after exercise. So it's not, it's I wouldn't say it's a placebo. It doesn't cure anything that we know of, but it does alleviate a lot of conditions. And we know that is out and about. NICE have now, NICE, that's the National Institute of Clinical Health, Clinical Institute of Health and Health.
So they're like the regulatory board that the NHS.
They've now said CBD works. It may be just at the moment for epilepsy, but they're now saying CBD works, and allowing it as a medicine.
And I mean, my background is the NHS, as you know, Amanda, and the department I'm in now is end of life, it's palliative care, and I am meeting patients and people who have expressed that they are using, they're taking CBD oils, and it is helping their conditions. You know, it's helping with their discomforts. It's helping them with their sleep patterns. You know, that is great to hear. Obviously, I don't feel I can promote it to those patients, and I wouldn't do that because there is a line. you know, but I'm aware and I'm listening, and I'm, you know, and it's great to hear that feedback.
And my background is also from NHS. I've also an NHS background, and my patients were all quadriplegic and ventilated, but some of them had what we call neurological pain, which is pain where there's no real explanation because there's no connections. The spinal cord is broken, but people still feel physical pain. And I know that obviously that was quite a long time ago now, and our view on pain, our understanding of pain has really changed. But I've seen massive changes in people's lives as a result of using CBD oil or cannabis products, if you like, in reducing pain, enabling more mobility, and you know, for people who are paralyzed from the neck down, and you know, need machines to help them, assist them breathe. Pain is really something that you don't want to have. It's so just horrible, just a horrible.
It is. I mean, it's distracting at best and debilitating at worst.
And it's so rewarding as a carer to see people benefit and have a better quality of life as a result of eating something different or taking something different. I mean, if there's people listening who've got these kind of things that we're talking about, do they need to get a prescription?
It's available on the open market. CBD is now legal in the UK, has been since 2016 from what I recall, provided, and it's the big proviso, it has less than 0.2% THC in it.
Okay.
That's the
bit you need to
legal
research,
limit,
isn't it? That's the bit you need to check out.
Exactly. Now, as Trish just said, there's products ranging from a couple of percent of CBD in the products, quite a way up to other levels, other percentages. What we will say is, if you research it, get the highest level of CBD that you can, and get the minimum THC that you can. There will be people possibly phoning in to you saying, "Well, THC is good for you," and this, that, and the other. There's no actual research to say THC is good for you.
There's little evidence that hallucinogenic bit is actually good for you. In fact, there has been research, hasn't there, like you were saying earlier, that it can cause psychosis.
Well, that's monitoring of the effects of it, not the positive, but the negative effects. So you're right. There has been research, but of the negative type. The other thing is, as I said earlier as well, don't just research the product, research the source as well. We know people who've they've bought it and they've found it's come from a foreign country where there's no control on it.
Okay.
So be aware of that. Also be aware of the source, because the people selling it to you.
Okay.
A lot of people sell it because, you know, they've read a little bit about it. As brand ambassadors, our job is to educate people onto.
All right, we're back.
Okay, right. Okay.
All right, there we go. there's a set recording time that it lets you have, and then it just switches itself.
Oh,
We'll play a song while that bit's there, and I'll.
Yeah, okay. We'll give you a few songs if you don't mind. Yeah. So so where it comes from, who's selling it, what's in the product. Make sure you can read what's in the product, and if possible, get a lab results sheet, a lab test sheet to say that this product has this, and this in it. We know there are companies that don't provide a test sheet. We know there are companies that say you can have one, but you pay for it, which I find is pretty ludicrous. You can go on our website, and we'll give you the details of that later, and you can upload a lab result sheet, which is updated every so often, to say, sorry, excuse me 1 second.
That's all right. Technology is great, and it will just keep beeping.
Yeah, to say that what is in it is what we say is in it. We don't, you know, we're quite open about the things we do in our company. You can research Canaway, you can research Medical Marijuana Inc. You can research our founder, Dr. Stuart Titus, which is, it's all there in the open.
Mm-hmm. So you can buy it, you don't need a prescription, but when you do buy it, you really need to do your research to make sure that it doesn't have THC in it, that the CBD levels are high, high enough for them to be beneficial to you, and then how would I take it? What's the best way to take?
There's different products, so there's different ways of taking it. Some companies have it like a thick oil, and that's
Paste.
no, a thick oil, which is like taken in a drop from a pipette dropper, a few drops under your tongue. Some people have complained about the flavour because it's quite a pungent flavour, of it's already mentioned. It's concentrated, that's even worse. Others, you've got capsules, so you just take a capsule a day. Others are a thinner oil with a high percentage of CBD, but they're in a carrier oil. Ours is one of those. It's in a coconut oil, so it's easier to digest.
And it's a high percentage of
Plus,
CBD.
it's a high percentage. So you get it in different formats. You can take it in. I mean, you can get your CBD now from chewing gum.
Wow.
You can get it in sweets, in gummies. Usually very low percentages. But they're there. Now, the recommended dose for CBD, recommended serving for CBD is around 34 milligrams a day.
Okay,
So
that's really good to know.
Yeah, so...
I take a teaspoon a day.
Yeah, our product is, it's in a 120 ml bottle, so a month's servings in one bottle. So it's about 4 mils, just under a teaspoon you take a day. For an adult, that serving is less if you're a child or a pet. You can give it to your pets, both furred and feathered. And we know that, yeah, furred or feathered, yeah, you can give it to your birds as well. We're not sure about fish.
Don't know how you go about the fish, actually.
We don't know how we do that because it floats on water, doesn't it?
We've got a bottle of the oil here. Would you like me to hold this up, Amanda?
Oh, yeah, let's have a look.
That's a 120 ml bottle.
Wow.
Okay,
yeah. And
so that's the normal adult supply for a month.
Yeah.
And again, you can get the lab results sheet off our website. We're quite happy to pass that information on to people if they need it or if they want it.
It's good to have that really good, clear information available. So we've been talking about innovations that are happening with these products. There's lots and lots of really amazing research that's being carried out. There's lots of exciting things happening. Tell me a little bit more about these innovations.
Well, one of the good things is over the last 2 or 3 years, things have moved on. For instance, in America, it was illegal to grow hemp. Some states allowed it, some didn't. Back in January last year, it was put on the farming bill, so it's now legal to grow hemp anywhere in the American states.
Wow,
which is good. Prior to that, ironically, they could grow it for research. But they couldn't use it on the streets. They couldn't use it as a product. They had to get their products from elsewhere. And our company, Canaway, which is based in America, we're getting all their products here in Europe. So the products we have in Europe are exactly the same as what they had in America. Okay. A few little differences in the way that they're allowed different levels of THC. So that happened in January last year, 2019. And as that came about, they brought out a thing called the US Hemp Authority, which started to give approval seals to companies who met certain criteria in quality and the method of marketing and various other things. And I'm proud that Canaway is one of the few companies that have got that. Only 13 companies we know of have got that at the moment. We're one of them. One of the other things is they had a seminar for medical marijuana in general when I say marijuana, say cannabis, shall we say.
Yeah.
And our founder, Dr. Stuart Titus, was given the accolade of the #1 physician in the cannabinoid in the CBD world.
Wow.
So we've got him, which is brilliant, really
Yeah.
good. And we are innovating throughout the company. But I can give you a couple of things. At the moment, CBD as a business is not regulated as such. So you can have people saying, yeah, we're selling this CBD product or this hemp product. It's not regulated. We're looking into the UK. We've had some committees sitting in Parliament discussing CBD and hemp and marijuana as well, obviously for different uses. But there's been round tables in America looking at regulating it as well. And just recently, we were talking about getting the right companies doing the right thing. There's now 14 companies who are being taken to court by the FDA in America, the Federal Drugs Agency. They're being taken to court because they've not been doing right on the market. There's been a lot of complaints. So there's some movement towards regulation, which is brilliant. We'd like it to be regulated. We'd like to know that we're in a fair level playing field business.
It takes a long time to bring about regulation. It really does.
It does. Well, regulation works from back in October last year. Parkinson's UK commissioned research into the use of CBD with Parkinson's against the various conditions of Parkinson's. The psychosis that comes with it is being one of them. So they're researching that at the moment, which is brilliant.
Very exciting.
Along with that, in parallel, they're also researching partly into MS, because again, MS. We've spoken to MS Society members, and they say they'd love to be able to put their hand on it and say, yes, we could use it, but there's not enough research in that area for them. We talked a bit about innovation within industries. Hemp has been used for buildings for a long, long time. Our plant, our basic plant, hemp can grow up to 20 feet. Our plant is not quite long enough for fibres for textiles, but it is good for construction. So our waste product goes into the construction industry. So there's no waste on our products.
Nothing wasted.
Not
it's
at all.
so important, isn't it, in this day and age, that we actually use everything. That way, you know, and that there's no waste left, and that's going to damage the environment or leave anything behind. It's great news.
That's right. Yeah.
All being used. Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we call ourselves a hemp lifestyle company now. As I've just said, we don't have, our plant is no good for making textiles. So we have a partnership with a company to make textiles for us. Now, one of the things that came out last year was Levi's developed a hemp product. So you can now get, not pushing another company, but you can now get hemp jeans from Levi.
And leggings.
What made me chuckle a little bit was say they've brought this new development out, new process out to make hemp jeans. Hemp products have been made into textiles for over 9,000 years.
It's an old product that's been revamped, doesn't it?
And our partner company, a company called Hempies, who does our clothes and our accessories, they've been doing it for 10 years. They've been making hemp jeans for 10 years. So how has Levi innovated anything? One of the other things is we talked about plastics as well. Now, one of the reasons why hemp was vilified at the beginning of the 1900s was what you can do with any petrochemical product you can make with hemp. You can make plastics with hemp. You can make fuel with hemp. So for a few years, car companies have been using hemp plastic predominantly for internal parts like dashboards and things like that.
With all the unrest in the Middle East at the moment, we really need to be looking for alternatives to oil, don't we?
I think so, yeah. Well, it is oil, but it's a plant-based oil. So
It's a different oil, though. We'd have to dig it out of the ground.
exactly, yeah, exactly. And there's other benefits of growing it as well, and I'll go into them in a second. The other thing is, which were reported at the end of last month into 2020, is Porsche have just designed and developed a new car with 100% hemp plastic.
If the people who are the best in the industry are looking to these things, then there's definitely, we need to be listening, don't we, and following that path.
Yeah. The thing is, it's quite cheap. You get petrochemical plastics, they're quite cheap, but we know plastics are not bad. It's the way we dispose of them that's bad. With hemp plastics, you get a water bottle, a 500 ml bottle of water in a hemp plastic. That plastic completely degrades in 80 days. There's nothing left of it. It's gone back into the soil. Yeah. So there's things about there. We're talking about the plant itself. Hemp takes, we get 3 to 4 crops of hemp every year. It absorbs more CO2 than trees per acre.
Wow.
It cleans the soil. One of the things that's happening at the moment is hemp is being used in the soil around Fukushima and around Chernobyl to clean the soil. Hemp absorbs everything out of the soil. So that's one of the other things we talked about. If you're going to buy a CBD product, find out what it is. Because whatever used in the plant growth is in the plant, and you're going to absorb it. So that's why we say research. So that's on innovation side at the moment, but there's more and more coming.
It's very exciting.
It is. It's an exciting time because, as we said, the conversation's now open. Everybody wants to know about more and more about hemp and CBD.
And we have our lab reports.
And yeah, we are telling you today, we can back up.
Yeah.
You can go online and you can research what we're saying about the Porsche car, about the Parkinson's research, about CBD in general, about hemp in general. There's some areas in Italy, the farmers have actually been growing hemp and making hemp products for quite a long time. Our farmers are partners with us. They're not, we go to the open market and buy hemp from anybody who's selling it. We are in partnership with the farmers who grow it. And one of the things is we've helped develop the plant that we use. So we know the plant we use is a standardized plant in all our farms. We know the processes are all standardized. The people who grow it have been growing it for decades, generations in that soil. So we know the soil is clean. Our company developed the lab testing that other companies use. So we're innovators ourselves. We've just now changed our extraction process. We use a CO2 extraction process that a lot of people do, but we've now moved to an ultra CO2 system that extracts more and more of the product from the plant. So it's the other thing we use fresh plant instead of dried plant, which a lot of companies use. So it's all innovation.
So everything from growing it to making it into a product it has been really researched and really well put together, really well thought out. And actually, your company are the leaders in terms of, or one of the leaders in terms of how these things are moving forward. What else I was really excited about was there's a lot of charity work that your organisation do as well. And I read that you have a thing called the Eco Charity, or the Echo Charity, the Echo Charity. Tell me a little bit more about the charity work that happened.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we're most proud of. The Echo Foundation is our sister not-for-profit organisation.
Yeah.
So ECHO stands for Education, Collaboration and Hope. The education side is what we try to do, pass the information on to area of research. It's got lots of information about different conditions. We have over 2,500 papers, medical papers, both observational and research, all donated to Echo Foundation. Not one of them is our own research. And you'll find if you go on, and I think I've already given you the link to that. If you go on it, you can go to that site.
Pop those on our Radio Shield's Facebook page so people can
That's
have a look
lovely if you
at
could do that. So anybody can sign up to that. Any physician or other medico who wants to research anything, that's open to them. They can go on, register, and they get the information they want. If there's anybody out there that is doing research and would like to donate their papers to Echo Foundation, there's a way they can do that as well.
Brilliant. So it's a real collaboration of information that's going on, which
exactly, yeah,
driving that innovation, absolutely driving that innovation. And it's also accessible for mums and dads, parents, aunties, relatives, anybody who wants to really look at that research and research.
It's an excellent resource for anybody and everybody.
It's an education platform as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Now the other part of Echo is the hope side, HO hope, and that's the biggest part of it. Our company's been donating our products to people who can't afford it but really do need it. And again, they can research that. There's quite a bit about the people it goes to. Now the product we provide is slightly different to the product we sell on the street. It's a much more concentrated product. Again, no THC in it. If we go to the background of that, our company was giving it to some people in America. A family in Mexico found some information about it, tried to get it for themselves, started importing it illegally. It went to the high courts in Mexico. The court said it's not a product that should be denied this child. It's keeping this child alive. So it got into Mexico. Basically, through our products and our intervention, the law was changed in Mexico.
Wow.
Throughout the years, we've also done that in 3 other countries, in Brazil, in Paraguay, and in Puerto Rico. So now our company provides it to their governments direct for them to then disperse it as a prescribed medication. However, there are still children who started on this program, Echo program, where they get the product for free, and they get it for free for the rest of their lives.
Amazing.
So,
if you're a parent and you're listening to this and say you want it for a family member or for your child or for someone who you feel needs it, and financially it's just something that's out of your reach.
Yeah.
And can we get in touch with you and ask for that support?
No, unfortunately, we're completely out of the loop, because then we can't say we've intervened on what is a charitable organisation.
So how would people get access to that?
What we can do, we've sent you the link, and you're going to kindly put it onto your Facebook page.
I will do.
If they go onto that link and go onto the Hope Connection, the HO side, there is an application process.
Right.
Now, it is means tested, and there is some medical research they have to go into. We don't get involved. It's purely Echo.
We promote it, don't we?
We love to promote it.
Yeah.
We love to tell people
about it.
Our company's given over $1 million.
It's very exciting that it's even available.
We're proud to promote it. Now, we did say it's not for profit. All the money that goes into that is by donations, primarily through brand ambassadors like ourselves, but other kind of people who know about it and promote it and give to that as well. Yeah. It doesn't cost the Echo anything. Our parent company, Medical Marijuana, pay for all the administration fees. So it's completely free to people who are in a situation where they can benefit from it. What I will say, it's not an arduous process. There's some forms to fill in. You've got to send medical proof. You've got to agree to various things. One of the things we understand is you've got to keep a diary for 8 weeks. But that's about it. But once you've got it, if your condition continues, you get it for the length of condition. I will tell you, there is 2 people in the UK on it, on the Echo Foundation process. one we don't know much about. It's an adult.
Right.
The other one we know a little bit about because one of our brand ambassadors brought it about in a way. Very quick story. A brand ambassador who lived in Gibraltar came back to the UK, visited his parents in Greater Manchester area. They saw a local TV report on this family who had a child, 3 years old, had a serious condition. I can't tell you condition because we're not allowed to. Had a serious condition. They were literally holding a 24-hour vigil. Young family looking after this young girl. So they never went out. They were always there in case something happened. Our brand ambassador got in touch with our Echo director, and Echo wasn't actually in the UK at the time. He said, we've got to get this product to this little girl. They did a quick bit of research on her medical condition and on the family situation, and she was on the product within 2 weeks, I believe. Our condition has gone from really extreme to pretty negligible because of the use of the product. One of the things was that child had not seen daylight for most of her life. She's been in bed. For the first time in June last year, I think it was, they took her out for a picnic.
Oh, it's so beautiful. These little things are amazing.
So, it is, and they're the type of stories we get quite regularly. You know, on people who are on the Echo Foundation process. We'd love more and more people to go on it. Yeah. We really would. But people are not coming forward. We've suggested to various people at least apply. It doesn't cost anything to apply. No. You might get turned down because of various parts of your life, but there's always a chance that you will.
Yeah.
Trish got in touch with a lady in America. She was talking about her son who were having problems, so Trish recommended that she at least applies. And she said, well, yeah, I don't think it'll be any good for me. Well, we don't know until we try.
Just try.
If people think, just try if your listeners think that they have a situation where they may benefit from Echo Foundation, go on the Echo Foundation website, go to the Hope section. There is a list of what you need to do, and it's straightforward. It doesn't cost anything to put time.
We've been talking about innovation, we've been talking about all the different cannabis background, the information, how to research to make sure that you get the right products for you. But what we haven't been able to talk about so far is actually your products, the products that you promote, the products that you recommend to people. So tell me a little bit about your products.
Right, okay, you've already seen the oil we have. This is a CBD oil. It's 1,000 milligrams of CBD with a high percentage, and it's in a coconut oil carrier. So the coconut oil makes it more palatable and also helps with digestion as well. So the bottle Trish is so nicely presenting there is basically it's a 1 month's supply for a normal adult. And a normal daily serving is 4 millilitres, which is just under a teaspoon. Take that under your tongue, and that gives you about 33 point something milligrams of CBD daily. The recommended serving is 30 to 34 milligrams per day. So that's a good serving.
Brilliant.
And the reason why we recommend under the tongue is because we have the receptors under our tongue, and we usually recommend that you take it during meal times, so with breakfast. I mean, sometimes I don't always take it halfway through my breakfast, and sometimes I take it after I've eaten my breakfast. But when you eat your food, when you chew, your receptors open, and that's the reason so the oils will go through your receptors and go into your body, and that's how it works basically.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I said this is a normal adult serving. For people under 10 kilo, under 40 kilos, you reduce that serving. So it's basically 1 milligram per 10 kilos. Now, as we said earlier, you can have it for your fur and feathered friends. Obviously, not many of them will be 40 kilos. So you take it, you adjust it accordingly. And anything under 10 kilos, then instead of giving it every day, you give it every couple or 3 days.
Okay.
And you can administrate. One of our customers, she gives a pet it. She puts a drop on her hand, and the dog licks it off. So that's how it is. Or you can put it in the food.
Yeah.
One of the other things is, in general, and we're talking about other people's products as well. If you can't palate it, if it's not palatable for you, you can always put it in food.
Yeah.
Put it in a yogurt, put it in, if you've got porridge on the morning, put it in your porridge, or milky foods, oily foods, you can put it into that. You were talking about frying. That would be really expensive for frying, but the hemp oils, when you heat them up, they don't deteriorate. The quality stays in whether you heat it up or not. So that's another thing in general for hemp oil.
My auntie, she has her oil in her porridge.
So,
and usually 2 hours after medication, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, we can give anybody more information on that as and when they want to get it. And then the other, so that's our premium product, is the oil.
And then let me just, because we had a bit of a technical problem, so I lost a bit. But my personal experience, let me share a little bit about that. I took the oil myself for a little while. I have a condition called uveitis, which means the uva, the centre of my eye, gets inflamed quite badly, and it puts pressure on the optic nerve and causes blindness. And a couple of years ago, I actually did lose my sight completely in my right eye, and I started taking the oil. I only took it for a really short period of time, actually, and the uveitis is something that I'm supposed to have for the rest of my life, but I actually haven't had a flare up for a really long time, and touch wood. It doesn't seem to have been coming back, and it was something that I had monthly flare-ups of for a really long period of time. So I know that for me it's been really beneficial. So sorry, go on, tell us about the next product.
Yeah, so just to go on to what you said, we both take the oils for various conditions. Like yourself, we're not 100% fit, so we do take the oil for various conditions.
So I was diagnosed in 2012. I was diagnosed with 2 disc bulges and a herniated trapped nerve. And I quite honestly, personally, I don't like taking medication. So I decided, when Canaway found me, to try the oil. And within a week, I noticed the difference. So, yeah, this is what I use for my discomfort on a daily basis. Going through the menopause, I used to have a lot of hot sweats and things like that. Now, thankfully, I'm great. So I take my supplement every day.
So this is just what we call anecdotal evidence. These are our personal stories and our personal experiences.
That's right,
For all of us, and for a lot of people I know, they found so much benefit in these products. It definitely is worth giving them a try. So go on, we were telling us about this cream. I love this cream. This is in my bathroom cabinet, this cream. I love it.
This is fantastic. Another one of our top sellers, the salve. And this is a topical cream that can be used as a moisturizer all over the body. It can even be used as a lip balm. So if you're feeling a little bit low and a little bit wanting to scream, massage a little bit into the shoulders. Absolutely beautiful. It's very herbal, absolutely lovely smell. And it it's a great product with our secret ingredient.
Yeah, so Trish just quickly mentioned the secret ingredient. We can't recommend this to vegans because it's beeswax based, but it has 30 milligrams of CBD in it, but it also has other formulations in. We're very lucky. We've got a young doctor called Dr. Janella Kim. She's a doctor in Far Eastern medicines. She's also a Korean herbalist, and her lineage goes back 700 years.
Wow.
Her forefathers used to formulate essential oils and things for the Korean royal family. So she's got all that background and experience. So hopefully she knows what she's talking about. And she only works with Canaway. She won't mix her formulations with any other company. So we've got some of the secret formulas in some of our products. The salve that you just saw being one of them. And we call it B-bomb. B-bomb being secret formula. B secret bong formula in Korean. And I can only take her word for it because I don't speak Korean. But she does other formulations for us as well in other products. Obviously, each formulation is different to each product. So those are our two main products, the oil being the premium one and the salve being very good.
Well, in my family, we have psoriasis, and I know that my mum's used it for her skin and found it very helpful. My brother's also got psoriatic arthritis, so that's where the arthritis it gets inside the bones and in the joints. Found it very good for pain relief. And I have HS, which is an autoimmune inflammatory condition, and I get skin flares with it, flares of sore skin, and I used it on when I have flares, and it's very, very like just instant soothing. I think is the first thing I get when I use it, and then it does help speed up the healing process. So I know that topically, I have and my family have benefited from using that cream, but it's also very good for aches and pains as well, isn't it? Sort of knee aches and back aches, as well as it having a calming effect. And I know that you're not supposed to tell us what it does, but I can just tell you what my experience is using it.
Well, we can't say pain, because it's a medical term. So we say discomfort. But
discomfort.
It's the same thing. Sometimes it comes out the same thing. So it's good to hear that people benefiting from using the products. It's always great for us to know that it happens that the products that we're promoting are actually working.
And in fairness as well, Amanda, we get random calls now, don't we?
We do, yes, from people we've spoken to and people they've spoken to are actually coming to us now, which is brilliant.
Because we do events in the community, we're reaching out to people, we're educating them, raising awareness about the benefits of our products, and so people are actually reaching out to us now, which is great to hear. And we may not have met those people, but the information's being passed on, maybe third party, and they've gone onto our website and they've just put an order in, and when I've contacted them, they've said, I've heard about you guys, I've heard about the products, and I've been told that the salve is really good and the oil is good, so I've ordered some. And I say, great, please pass on the information. It's good.
So the oil and the salve are like the top products, but I know that you have other things as well. So
the CBD products. On the innovation side for the company, we've brought out some more CBD products. We've had vapes for quite some time. Vapes are like electronic cigarettes. They aren't electronic cigarettes. The only products that are in those are the CBD oil, the coconut oil as a carrier, and a flavouring, and it's always a natural flavouring. So we've now got 3 products in that line. We've got one for sleep, we've got one which we call calm, and then we've got one for activity. So each one has a different level of CBD, and each one works in a different way.
Wow.
We've also now got some chewing gum, which is great, and it's roughly 30 milligrams in each tab. So you can get your daily serving in a piece of chewing gum as well.
Amazing.
And we spoke about the digestion of it. If people can't digest it, we now have capsules as well, gel capsules. And again, one of those is a daily serving.
And we've got the paste as well, haven't we?
That's a new thing. We've also got a new product in, which is an applicator, which is instead of the 1,000 milligrams, is 3,000 milligrams. So that's a much higher serving. That is probably the closest thing we can get to a prescription strength. Although if I go back, the oil another one which I didn't mention earlier, another brilliant thing for us is the Americans have got a thing called the Prescribers Directory. And there are 2 CBD products in that directory now. The directory is where they go to find products which are suitable for whatever condition they're talking about. We are the only company, Canaway is the only company that have got 2 of their products in the American Prescribers Directory.
Wow.
One of those is the pure gold oil that you saw earlier. The other one is only on the American market at the moment, so we won't see it over here. But that is just a fantastic thing for us. We can turn around and say that, you know, even the medical profession is using our product.
And we have to say the 6 is the percentage of the CBD.
No, we don't.
No. Can we make? Okay. Right.
Yeah, sorry,
okay.
she's talking about percentage,
Sorry.
so we don't talk about percentage.
No.
So sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
So those are basically our CBD based products. We also have some essential oils, and thanks to Dr. Janella Kim, they're really good. Again, we don't have a vast amount, we only have 3, and the 3 that we have do what they say on the tin. So we've got one which is called Energy, and we've seen that work firsthand, literally seen it work firsthand. And Energy is, again, it's essential oil. You can use it 1 of 3 ways. You can put it into a diffuser, and sort of get it into the atmosphere for you, or you can use it direct on your skin at various acupressure points, or you can put it into a carrier oil and use it as a massage oil. Then we've got Tranquility, which again does exactly what it says. Put a few drops into a diffuser in your bedroom, it helps you sleep. And then we've got one called Immunity. And it's for days like when you're feeling really low and it's muggy and things like that. It picks you up a little bit. None of those products have CBD in, but they do have all the other terpenes and flavonoids and all the omega-3 and 6 and all the other good stuff, the plant wax oils. And also some of our Dr. Janella Kim's formulas, which makes them different and makes them boost the natural product.
Brilliant.
And there we've now got a world-class skincare regime as well.
Yeah, I'll hold these up.
It's less than a year old. It was brought in
Move this a bit closer, you can see.
Yeah, I can see.
That's a serum.
It's a serum, isn't it?
Serum, yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
So all these products, again, there's no CBD in them, but they are all hemp-based. And they have hemp plus another product, plus some more of these bee-bong formulas. These are just over a year old now. We brought onto the market just over a year ago. But before they were a year old, we won 2 international awards at what they call the Sally Awards, which is brilliant, you know. So we're just moving forward all the time with Canaway and our products and our formulations. So this is a whole regime, skin regime. And it's not a beauty product because I can use it and nothing will make me beautiful. So Trish can explain more on that because she uses them.
We've also got the moisturizer from the beauty bundle. I mean, I've been using these now for over a year, and you only need a tiny little bit. Really, really are brilliant, beautiful on the skin.
So you've got a serum, you've got a moisturizer.
We've got an exfoliator.
Okay.
Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of the dead skin.
Great.
It's got some particles in there.
Yeah, I point out that the particles are actually peach kernels, not bioplastics, the microbiome dots.
Yeah, and then we've got the face mask. You can see that one as well. And then we've got our cleanser. So if you just dampen your face with the cleanser and you use that every day, and just rinse it off or remove it with
I like the applicator that's on that bottle as well. It's one of those ones that comes out nice and foamy.
That comes out lovely, exactly. So it comes out foamy into the palm of your hand,
easy to
and
use.
just massage it round, exactly. Yeah, and it's absolutely beautiful. Really good products there.
So
Good ingredients.
Amazing.
So along with those, we've got some more products as well. We've got some food supplements. One is a power protein, and that's got about 20 grams per serving of protein, which from what I can understand is quite high if you're into that type of food regime. But again, it's got other B-Bog formula in it from Janella Kim. We have a super greens, which is what it says. It's green and it's super. It has 5
superfoods.
All your superfoods.
Yeah, it's all your superfoods. You've got your grasses and your other plant extracts, but it's got 5 different formulas in. Again, from Dr. Janella Kim. One is a antioxidant formula. One's a digestive formula, and the 3 others. So again, that's a really good food supplement. And again, you just take that daily, part of your food regime, your dietary regime. And along with that now, as I mentioned earlier, we're partners with a company called Hemp, which is a textile and accessories company. And they provide our products on the textile side. And again, those are on our website as well.
Online store.
So,
well, thank you so much for sharing about the products. I mean, literally, there's stuff for skin, there's hair, there's inside and out well-being, isn't it? And
it is.
And it really is a lifestyle choice, isn't it? Using hemp products. You know, helping with the saving the planet, helping with your health, with your well-being, with your nutritional supplementation. So many benefits. It's been absolutely eye-opening chatting with you this afternoon. I could probably chat with you for another hour about it. But we probably ought to play a bit of music, and I'm going to get you to select some music for me as well. But I just want to say thank you very much for sacrificing your Sunday afternoon and talking to me, chatting to me about your products, about hemp, about CBD, about these cannabinoid systems and how everything works. It's just been absolutely fascinating, and I really hope that the listeners have found some benefit from it. And as I say, we will put all of that information about the charity, the educational platform, and your website link as well, so people can have a really good look at all the different products that are available. And I'm guessing they'll be able to get in touch with you should they need to. If they have additional questions. And I know that possibly I've broken a few rules by using some words I'm not supposed to, but I have great respect that you do strive to stay within the boundaries of what you're permitted to say.
We try.
Even though the anecdotal evidence is so overwhelming for the benefits of these products, and now we also have really powerful and strong research to back up what these amazing doctors and specialists in their field are telling us as well. It's exciting time.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I'm grateful that you've shared this information with us today.
Thank you very much, thank you for inviting us to talk to you.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.